Good morning. This is Breakfast with Brian, and I'm sitting here with my grandfather Theo and my grandma Jude Gladstone Cade. And today we listen to a philosopher's note by Brian Johnson, written by Brian Johnson about a workshop that was put on by Gay and Katie Hendricks about love. And one of the big ideas that we really liked today was the thought of persona yoga. And Theo's going to tell us what that is right now.
Yes. As I understand it, persona yoga is there's different characteristics or masks or personas that we can come from at different times. And to have flexibility, as in yoga, to shift from one to the other rather than being stuck in one. So there's role flexibility.
Oh, and also I just want to say that Jude and Theo have been married for 30 years, and that's really inspiring. So how does that work in your relationship?
Well, a long time ago, Theo named 15 personas that he had. And these were golden shadow personas, and we can remember a couple of them right now. One was Warmly the butler, who would warm up my car, clean the driveway, and put a hot muffin on my lap as I left for my commute in the New England winter. And that was Warmly the butler. He was a wonderful guy.
And then there was B.B. Brewster, who between sleep and waking, that's Booty, our dog. You're hearing he wants us to play ball. That's his persona. Play ball with me now. And between waking and sleeping, sometimes I'll make these funny associations and I come up with these jokes, but he just appears irregularly. I can't choose him very often, but I would sure love to be able to have him around more. He's fun.
B.B. Brewster.
Have you seen a golden shadow in Jude?
Yes, pure love. Jude comes from this place of just caring and kindness and competence and presence that is just so heavenly to live with, and she's just right there for whatever kinds of support or caring that one wants. That's just heavenly to live with.
So those are they sound like they really work in your relationship. And
Golden shadows.
Yeah, the golden shadows. And I'm wondering, what are some personas that you've had to name that you both have a hard time maybe dealing with? And
more of the shadowy shadows.
How you make them functional in your relationship?
Yeah. So for me, I've been getting feedback recently from these two females that I'm always processing. And so we had a fun little process. We stopped the tape when we were doing Katie and named that, and we came up with HP because HP is a company that makes processors, and he's always processing. So it stood for has to process, and the last name was Mallard, just because HP Mallard sounds like a kind of rhymey name, rhythmy name.
And the feedback is the invitation to HP to maybe that he wants to go right.
Right, because when I write, I'm also processing, so it gives them a little space when they want their own head instead of be talking.
So can you maybe just talk about how you came up with the name, or like how Jude would ask H.P. Mallard to go and write or something like that so that you would receive it well?
Well, yeah, if it can be affirmative, like, you're such a good thinker and those are such great ideas, if you would go write them down, that might save them for posterity. And that way, and that could be like a signal that, hey, I'm tired and I don't want to process anymore. But if she says it in that way, it would be easier for me to deal with.
And then, and then I've also heard about a lady named Betty Burnout. And so could you talk a little bit about how you make that function in your relationship with each other?
So this morning I asked Marcela and Theo to find a shadow for me, and Betty Burnout showed up. So Betty Burnout just goes too far and has to rest. And the best remedy for Betty Burnout is to send her off to rest. What else did I want to say about that? What else did you want to say about that?
I wanted to say There's another golden persona that we have sort of as a game we play with these other when we see the other one is stressed out, called sous chef. And sous chef is like the person who helps the head chef, and they just do one thing at a time. And so one of the things that's really helped our relationship is when one of us is really tired and needs to get something done or under the gun, we'll say, I'll sous chef for you. And that means just tell me one thing at a time. You're in charge, but I'll help you do whatever you want.
That sounds great. So I think that by developing and identifying the different personas in your relationship of the partner that you're with and yourself, it really helps you to, how does it help you just to close it out for us today?
Well, I think the flexibility, like for myself, one of the things that I've done is I've practiced learning how to listen. I researched listening, and I can just automatically say to myself, okay, people are getting tired of my processing, and so I'll go shift into like really listening.
And it kind of makes it fun for the other person to bring it up in a way that is not blaming, and I think that is really kind of what makes the relationship.
Yeah, and not blaming yourself.
Yeah. And we make agreements. We make agreements like we've made the agreements about how we're going to speak to H.P. Mallard and Betty Burnout. And so we remember this. And it lightens things up a lot.
Great. So this is a little prelude to what's coming on Monday. I'm going to interview Jude and Theo about their love, their 30-year loving marriage, to hopefully inspire others who are in a relationship. Thanks for joining us today on Breakfast with Brian, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.